Hi, I'm Clever and welcome back to the Clever Report. There's a reason why the term black fatigue has become very, very popular abroad, especially in the Western countries. Is it because these Westerners, even some black people amongst them, is it because they are actually rigid racist? Or they recognize a certain pattern amongst black folks that things that they do, some things, sometimes you ask yourself, a rational human being shouldn't be behaving like this or shouldn't have this kind of thinking process. It's not because they are racist, but there are certain things that black people do sometimes, and you'll be asking yourself, how is this person? Do this person use the same bread to eat or something? So what I'm about to show you is not a comedy skit. At first, I thought it was a comedy skit about a group of black settlers in Scotland claiming that the Scottish kingdom is their own land and ancestral land. So I want you to watch the news story there. I'll give you my take on that.
Herself, tribal Queen Nandi documented life with her husband, 36-year-old King Atihene, whose real name is Kofi Ofe, and their handmaid Asnat Cora Taylor, giving an insight into the Kabbalah way of life on the site. Authorities served the trio an eviction notice earlier this month, but ahead of that, their camp was pulled down and their rebuilt shelters were set alight. The Scottish Sun tracked down the tribe at their new camp in Woodland near the town's school, which they say was set up following the fire by kind residents who have been supporting them with donations of tents, clothes and food. The Queen and handmaid kneeled on each side of the throne, sat upon by their king, who donned a crown made from twigs, pine cones and leaves, and whose shoulders were draped in a leopard print blanket. Their presence has been supported by some locals but has angered others. One resident said, "They do seem very nice, I have to say, but there's a sense of uneasiness. We don't know much about their culture, so there's an element of feeling uneasy, but I think they do play on that." It's believed the King and Queen have been together for around 15 years and lived in houses before setting off on their pilgrimage to Scotland to live like their ancestors. And local councillor Scott Hamilton has said, "We need to be clear that we can't just start living in the woods in a community. We have rules, we have laws, and they need to be obeyed and followed."
Kingdom of Kubala is an ancient kingdom which existed in Great Britain 400 years ago. This kingdom is a kingdom for the Jacobites, the Highlanders of Scotland, and the true Moors of Kubala. 400 years ago, my ancestors were deported from this land. The rest of them were killed and destroyed in the land they.
So, according to the news story, the name of the king is King Atene, formerly known as Kofi Ofe, an opera singer. And the name of the queen is Queen Nandi. The real name is John Gasso. And the other woman that is the handmaid there is a missing Texan woman, Cora Taylor. Now, as I said, I actually thought this was a comedy skit. But certain news stories or plenty news stories, multiple news stories about it, I actually think those people actually, I don't know if those people think this is serious or the Scottish people. Scotland has become so woke. The United Kingdom has become so woke that they actually entertain this kind of things and make it newsworthy. My own opinion is just to send the military there and run these people out. So how can you say you have ancestral claim to your ancestors settled there for 100 years and they are demanding reparation? And there are clips of this guy going about saying King Charles is not the king of UK, he's the king.
I am Antigone, the true heir of Great Britain. Charles is not the king of Great Britain. Now listen to me. White people are not the native of Great Britain. Just until 1600. Now, these were the first. You are not the native of Great Britain.
So a part of me actually thinks these people just want attention and then they monetize their accounts or turn it into a comedy series or something. But with the many news stories I'm seeing about it, I actually think these people are serious. For a woman from Texas, United States of America, to come down to Scotland and join them in this delusion. And this brings a larger conversation of black people looking for reparation of things that happened 400, 500 years ago. Imagine me being a white man, you're telling me to pay reparations for what my ancestors did not actually do, because 2% of white men, 2% of white people actually own slaves. So imagine in 2025, you're telling an average white man to pay reparations for what he has no hand in. And you're not a victim of racism. Racism happened how many years ago? And even blacks enslaved other blacks. Let's not even get into that. But these people in Scotland, the Scottish authorities are actually taking it like their winter is coming. Let me see how they will survive out there in the woods. And the local residents, some of them are actually saying doesn't make sense. How wish they could try this thing in the United States where Trump is that Trump is ruling. He will send the National Guard to run them out. So these kind of things that if an average white man or somebody else, Latino, sees this kind of thing happening, stereotypes exist because of reputations and patterns. It's only black people that actually, certain black people, not all black people, that actually go to, immerse themselves in delusions like this, going around, making all of us that are black look very, very bad in front of people. So King Athena and the kingdom of Kubala, I don't know why the Scottish people are indulging in your delusion. I don't know why, because this thing is very, very funny. It's very, very funny. You just wake up one morning and settle in other people's forest and claim yourself claim a sovereign nation called Kubala, and people are indulging in this delusion. This is the problem where we tell people their feelings matter, and maybe actually feel like this. This idea of my truth, the larger central truth does not matter. It's only my truth and how I feel about it. This is how we got to bed playing the women's sports and got to, many delusions happening in this 21st century. So if we can actually start telling people the truth, and if this guy actually came, this Kubala guy, and said, I feel like this, I feel that I'm entitled to this land, I'm a descendant of Hebrew, and every other delusion he's espousing, and people just tell him, man, shut up, and just go and rest. This wouldn't have, blown up like this. But now the Scottish people, the UK people are so woke. They're trying to, cuddle him and his feelings. Let's look for a way to compromise. And this is crazy. This is so crazy. And this is why black fatigue is actually very, very popular right now. That's all I'm going to say about that. So give me your own opinion in the comment section. Be respectful about it. I love you, but God loves you more.